To achieve wealth, it's crucial to understand that sacrifices are part of the journey. Becoming rich isn't just about earning more money. It's about making strategic sacrifices in the short term for long-term gains. The truth is, the path to wealth often demands difficult choices at the moment, and these sacrifices can feel uncomfortable, but they are temporary. In the long run, they lead to rewards far greater than the cost. If you want to become rich, you'll need to embrace a mindset of giving up short-term comforts for long-term success. These are the 15 sacrifices you need to make on this journey toward achieving financial success. 1. Who you are. The first sacrifice you must make is who you are today. Becoming wealthy requires a transformation in your identity and mindset. You might feel comfortable with your current habits, but the person you are now won't take you to where you want to be. You'll need to sacrifice parts of your personality that hold you back, whether it's procrastination, fear of failure, or even the people you surround yourself with. Wealth demands constant growth, learning, and unlearning. You need to step out of your comfort zone and adopt the mentality of someone who is constantly striving for better. This journey isn't about losing yourself, but about shedding the parts of your personality that no longer serve your goals. Growth often feels uncomfortable, and that's the sacrifice you'll need to make. Those who remain stagnant, holding on to the same habits and limiting beliefs, often stay where they are financially. The sacrifice of who you are today is the beginning of who you will become tomorrow. 2. Starting a family and time spent with family. Building wealth requires time, and sometimes that time comes at the cost of family. If you're just starting out and working to create a solid financial foundation, either building a business, investing, or dedicating yourself to side hustle, you may need to delay starting a family. This may be controversial and we may agree or disagree, but the truth is that the responsibilities that come with children can be overwhelming and expensive, which may divert your attention from your family because you are working hard to provide for them. So, you need to be willing to put off those plans to focus on your financial stability. Even if you already have a family, the time spent with them will likely be less than you'd like. Building wealth demands long hours and intense focus, as said, which might mean sacrificing quality time with loved ones. This can be emotionally taxing, but remember, it's temporary. The sacrifice you make today, whether it's delaying starting a family or spending less time with them, will ultimately be to their benefit when you reach your financial goals and provide them with a better life. 3. Academic qualifications. Many people hold on to their academic qualifications as a measure of success, but to become wealthy, you may need to rethink this notion. Academic qualifications, while valuable, don't always guarantee financial success and wealth. Sometimes, you have to sacrifice the traditional route of getting multiple degrees or spending years in academia. Instead, focus on practical knowledge and skills that directly contribute to your financial goals. Success doesn't always come from a diploma. It often comes from real-world experience, risk-taking, and self-education. Many millionaires and billionaires took unconventional paths, learning through trial and error rather than through classrooms. This doesn't mean you should disregard education altogether or say academic achievements are worthless, but you might need to sacrifice the idea that it is the only way to success. Prioritize self-learning that adds value to your journey, whether it's entrepreneurship, investing, or mastering a specific skill. Wealth is about knowing how to create value, and often, that's not something you find in textbooks. 4. Time. Time is your most valuable resource, and becoming rich requires that you sacrifice a lot of it. You'll need to give up your free time, weekends, and late-night leisure to invest in your dreams. While others are out relaxing or enjoying their hobbies, you'll be working on your goals, side hustles, or personal growth. The sacrifice of time isn't just about working harder, but about working smarter. It's about dedicating your time to activities that move the needle toward wealth. Every minute spent procrastinating is a minute you could have spent learning, investing, or creating. Sacrificing your time now will set you up for a future where you have control over it. 5. Sleep. Having to sacrifice time also means having to sacrifice a few hours of your regular sleep hours to achieve your financial goals. Building wealth demands more work hours than a typical 9 to 5 lifestyle allows. Late nights and early mornings are often required when you're balancing a job, a side business, and self-education. While it's important not to completely burn out, successful people often sacrifice sleep to create time for their goals. Wealth requires dedication, and sometimes that means waking up before the world does or staying up late when everyone else is asleep. It's important to recognize that this isn't sustainable forever. Sleep deprivation isn't healthy long term. But in the short term, during those crucial periods when you're trying to get a project off the ground or learn the ropes of a new investment strategy, you may find yourself sacrificing those extra hours of rest. The trade-off here is temporary exhaustion for long-term wealth. Eventually, once your goals are met, you'll have the freedom to rest and sleep without the worry of financial insecurity. 6. Happiness. It might sound counterintuitive, but in the pursuit of wealth, you may have to sacrifice short-term happiness as it's the reality on the path to wealth. Wealth building requires tough decisions, which could mean missing out on events, vacations, and moments that bring you joy in the present. There will be times when the stress, long hours, and sacrifices make you question your path. But remember, this is temporary. By sacrificing fleeting happiness now, you're building a foundation for lasting happiness and financial security in the future. You must be willing to experience moments of discomfort and dissatisfaction as part of the journey. 7. Your income. To become rich, you'll need to reallocate your income, which means sacrificing the luxury of spending everything you earn. Instead of spending your income on non-essentials, you'll need to sacrifice it to fund investments, side businesses, or education. This means cutting down on unnecessary expenses, resisting the urge to upgrade your lifestyle, and redirecting every spare dollar toward your financial goals that will generate long-term returns. This sacrifice can feel frustrating, especially when you see others enjoying their money in the moment. But the mindset shift from income is for spending to income is for investing is critical, as those who get rich understand the power of reinvesting in themselves. The money you put into a side hustle or the stock market today can multiply over time, leading to far greater wealth than spending it on material things. 8. Pride. Wealth building often requires that you swallow your pride. Whether it's taking a lower-paying job to learn valuable skills or admitting that you don't know everything, you have to be willing to sacrifice your ego for the greater good. You might have to start from the bottom, work with people you don't get along with, or take on tasks that feel beneath you. If you're used to being self-sufficient or avoiding risks, you'll need to swallow your pride and be willing to take advice from others or face failure without being defensive. Wealth creation is filled with mistakes and lessons learned the hard way, and pride can block progress if you're not careful. But this is all part of the journey. The willingness to put your pride aside and do what's necessary sets you apart from those who remain stuck because they refuse to step outside their ego. Sacrificing pride means being open to criticism and learning from setbacks rather than letting them knock you down. 9. Comfort. Comfort is one of the greatest sacrifices you will have to make if you want to be rich. Whether it's physical comfort, like living in a smaller apartment or driving an old car, or emotional comfort, like facing rejection and failure, wealth demands that you become comfortable with discomfort. The road to financial success is often bumpy and filled with uncertainty and risk. Sacrificing comfort means embracing those challenges and pushing through even when it feels hard. But it's during these uncomfortable moments that you're laying the groundwork for future wealth. In the end, the wealth you create will allow you to live a life of true comfort without the stress of financial instability. 10. Emotions. Emotional decisions, especially around money, can be dangerous. Emotions can be your worst enemy when it comes to making rational financial decisions. To build wealth, you must sacrifice letting emotions dictate your choices. Whether it's fear, greed, or impatience, emotions can cloud your judgment and lead to poor decisions that derail your progress. You need to learn to separate your emotions from your financial strategies. This might mean walking away from a tempting but risky investment or sticking to a long-term plan even when the market is volatile. The best investors and entrepreneurs have mastered emotional discipline, which allows them to make rational, well-thought-out decisions even when the stakes are high. 11. Immediate desires. In a world where instant gratification is the norm, sacrificing your immediate desires is essential to becoming wealthy. You will have to give up the impulse to buy things you don't need, upgrade your lifestyle prematurely, or indulge in luxuries before you can afford them. This discipline of delaying gratification is a common trait among the wealthy, especially when they were at the beginning of their journey. Every dollar spent on something that doesn't contribute to your financial goals is a missed opportunity. Sacrificing now allows you to enjoy far greater rewards in the future. 12. Hobbies. While it's important to have hobbies for balance and a great way to relax, but if you're serious about becoming rich, some of them may need to take a back seat temporarily. The time and money you spend on hobbies that are not improving you for the better, time-consuming and costly, could be redirected toward building your wealth. This doesn't mean abandoning your passions forever, but for a period, your focus needs to shift. When you sacrifice time spent on hobbies, you free up energy for learning, growing a business, or mastering a high-income skill. Hobbies can return once your financial goals are met, but in the early stages, you need to be laser-focused on wealth-building activities. 13. Entertainment. Entertainment is a major distraction for most people, and if you want to build wealth, you will need to cut back significantly. This means sacrificing Netflix binges, video games, endless social media scrolling, and nights out. All of these activities eat into the time and energy you could be spending on more productive things. While entertainment has its place, it's important to recognize when it's preventing you from reaching your goals. Sacrificing entertainment now will pay off when you have the freedom to enjoy it without financial stress later in life. 14. Friends. Your social circle will likely change as you pursue wealth. You may need to sacrifice time with friends who don't share your ambitions. This doesn't mean cutting everyone off, but you need to be mindful of who you spend your time with. If your friends are a constant source of distraction, discouragement, or negative influence, you may need to cut them off as they can hold you back. Success requires surrounding yourself with people who inspire, challenge, and support you. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who understand your goals will help you stay focused and disciplined. Sacrificing time with friends who don't align with your goals is essential for keeping you on track. 15. What people think. One of the hardest sacrifices to make on the path to wealth is giving up your concern over what people think. The truth is, not everyone will understand your goals or support your journey. You might face criticism, judgment, or even ridicule for the decisions you make. People may question why you're working so hard, why you're sacrificing social events, or why you're not enjoying your money at the moment. But to become wealthy, you need to stop worrying about how others perceive you. Trying to live up to other people's expectations, whether it's by maintaining a certain lifestyle or seeking their approval, will only slow you down. Sacrificing the need to fit in with others will free you to focus on what truly matters, your goals. Wealth building is often a lonely road, but those who make it to the top are those who learn to block out the noise and stay true to their vision. Each of these sacrifices may seem overwhelming at first glance, but they are essential for anyone serious about becoming wealthy. The key to success is recognizing that these sacrifices are temporary. Yes, you will have to give up time, comfort, and even some of the things that bring you joy right now. But what you gain in the long term, financial freedom, the ability to live life on your terms, and the security to provide for your loved ones is far more valuable than any short-term pleasure.